Alright, this is music video tutorial part 2. We are going to be covering some effects called Blur Glow, Block Dissolve, Turbulent Displace, Pixel Stretch, Comic Book, Pixel Stretch 2, that doesn't seem right. We'll also be covering some text effects as well as the example from Bruno Mars, the scribble effect. So, first I'll get it into the edge glow, the blur glow. So if you take a look here we have this chick who's kind of beating everybody up. Oh, I gotta turn down the volume on that one. And as you can see, we have some kind of streaky lines going. That's kind of cool, not too bad. So there's a few things to this effect, and that's just if we do it on the vertical. Here we can have the horizontal and vertical. And what this effect does is that it pops out the edges. So now we have a nice edge glow happening. And for music videos, this effect can be pretty pronounced, as you can see right there. Again, we can just make this happen on the vertical, and these lines become vertical, or the horizontal, and we have kind of streaky lines happening, or we can have it happen on both, and we have a nice glow happening on their highlights. Okay, so let's begin from the beginning, how to do this effect. Step 1, we take the effect and we stack it. Moving forward, let's call this stacking, where I click, I hold down Alt, and I drag it up, and I stack it on top of the other. Going forward, we'll call that stacking. Then, go to your effects panel and type in Find Edges. Once you get this effect, put that onto the topmost layer. Alright, it's not pretty amazing by the first part, but once we choose Invert, you can see that we have a little bit of an edge glow happening around here. After that, we just have to set the blend mode to add, or you can even put it to soft light or overlay, depending on what, or sorry, not overlay. Add is the best one. Alright, so then all you have to do is put on your next effect, which is Gaussian blur. Now the Gaussian blur is what's going to pop those edges. So there we go. Now we see those edges starting to pop a little bit harder. And we're going to click on this repeat edge pixels. Alright, so if I just go step by step, you can see those edges popping a little bit more. I'll turn off the layer. That's without it. That's with it. And now, I can make this glow a little bit more or less depending, but again, I can change it to vertical and pop the blurriness a little bit more, and then we got those streaky lines. So again, it's really find edges, then invert, Gaussian blur, repeat edge pixels, and decrease or increase the amount of blur. Just going to step back for a second. I wanted to point out it's not actually, I didn't use add, I used the blend mode lighten. So that's the one I want you to fix. Alright, and that is how to have a nice edge glow. So that's effect number 1. Effect number 2 is the block dissolve. Alright, so this one's kind of a fun thing. What we do here is on the top layer I've dissected the clip into blocks. It's kind of got this glitchy feel to it if you take a look. And at the bottom I have a lens distortion happening so that you can feel that effect grow more and more. As you can see the optics at the edges. So again, if I just play this, all I've done is animate the optics effect at the bottom so you can see that distortion happening more severe. If I turn off the visibility of the bottom layer, this is what's actually going up at the top. It's your block dissolve. So, how to do this effect? Well, let's begin. So I'm going to take off lens distortion. Here we go, starting from 0. I hold down Alt, I stack the effect. And after that, I go to Effect, find Block, Dissolve. Click and drag that onto the topmost layer. And let's put the transition completion to 84%. Again, you can play with these. These are all just a matter of taste how much glitch you want. But be sure to uncheck soft edges. I'll just uncheck that now. And play with the block width. In this case, I'm going to put it to 24. Now you can't see it, so I'll turn off the visibility. There you go. That's the block width. I'm going to change the height, block height, to 478. And there. Now we've got this kind of digital block thing going on. And remember, you can animate these so over time you get more and more glitchiness. But the way I've got it stacked up right now is I am going to now add an effect on the bottom. So I'll add lens distortion. Lens distortion, and I'll add that onto the bottom. Now all I'm going to do is I'm just going to animate it. So the curvature, I click on the stopwatch as 0 at the beginning, and at the end I'll make this thing roll up. And so that reveals these edges. And remember, you can animate those edges. So this is just the beginning of this whole entire effect, but you can start to see how this plays out. Alright, that's effect number 2. Effect number 3, pretty lame, but some of you guys might like it. All it is find the effect called turbulent displace, put it on the effect. After that, all you have to do is increase your amount of turbulent displacement, but more importantly, the complexity. Now, this is very CPU heavy. As you can see, the processor of my computer won't keep up with it. But it can give you some really interesting patterns and really interesting noise complexity effects. So I just wanted to point that one out. That's effect number 3. Effect number 4 is wonky but cool. It kind of has to do with pixel bashing. So this is what we call a pixel stretch. So if you take a look, right now we've got our fighter, and you can see how it's like one pixel is stretched out to the other side. Yeah, okay, so it can kind of give you a glitchy feel, which maybe that's what you want to do. Alright, so let's begin on pixel stretch. This one is a bit of a headache to build, so here we go, starting at the beginning. Step 1, hold down Alt, stack the layer. Then go click on your top layer, and under Effects, go to Crop. Click on Crop and drag it onto your top layer. Set the left to 40, for example. I'm just choosing the line. Set the right to 59.9. There's going to be one little pixel. Alright, then check on Zoom In. That gives you this line happening right there. Alright, but we still got stuff to do. We have to add on another crop. Okay, that's crop number 2. And again, set on the right to 59.9. Alright, and that's it. So now you have this kind of weird pixel stretch thing happening. Alright, that's effect number 3. I'm just going to verify it's the same thing. Oh no, that's my... Okay. Next, effect number 4. This is called the comic book effect. So maybe you want to have a comic book looky effect here. And you can see what it's doing. So, what we've got to do, I'll just build it from the start, is, again, stack the effects. Alright. Then type in the effect checkerboard. Take on checkerboard, put it onto the top clip, and you get a checkerboard. Set the width. Oh, that's not right. Oh, let's say columns to 8. Alright. Oh wait, that's universal generators. Wrong checkerboard. Check the generate checkerboard. There we go. Then the width to 8. I have this Universe plugin is a paid plugin, so you guys might not see it. You want to look under generate checkerboard, change the width to 8. Alright, so then we want to set the blending mode to overlay. Alright, next we got to find the effect posterize. We've used it before. And put the posterize somewhere between 2 and 5, depending on the look you like. After that, you can add in color correction, saturation, and whatnot. But it gives you kind of a comic-y book look deal thingy happening. Alright. Last part of this tutorial I'm going to teach you is this pixel stretch glitch, I guess I should call it. So if you take a look here, we get this kind of weird glitch thing happening. Alright, it's a cool effect. I think this could work really good for some music videos. So what we've got to do is first, again, stack the layers. Adobe Premiere is good for this, being able to blend and stack layers. So on the top layer, we want to type in the effect to start with is Mosaic. So I take Mosaic, I put it on the top clip, and I'm done. No. The effect controls, we want to put the horizontal blocks to 1110. There we go. And let's put the vertical at 3 or 4. Again, you can tweak these values as you see fit, but turn on sharp colors. Alright, now we're getting somewhere. Okay, now we got to blend this to the one underneath it. So let's see at overlay. Here you go to overlay. Let's also check out soft light. Okay, I like soft light. Now we can increase these depending on what we like. Alright, we'll get a few more. Oops, put that to 4. I'm going to change this to, what was it? I'll change it to screen. Screen gives you brighter pixels. There, I like that. Alright, and that is your pixel stretch glitch. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different effects. And I'll stop this recording at 6. End recording.